Hi, everybody. This is Michael Garcia from the mighty Kamp, your executive director, and this is our tutorial on how to register your child for Kamp Kiwanis. So if you're going to look over here, if you're a returning Kamp family, we're going to ask you to use the sign in. You're going to add your email, and then you're going to add a password. If you don't remember your password, you're just going to click down here and reset your password. The nice part for our returning families is that the password reset allows you to go into your old Kamp file from 2019 or 2018 and just update the information, and you won't have to put in new information, which is great. But I am going to do a new user. So we're going to go here, and we are going to call this Mickey Mouse, putting in a generic and create account. So as we go through this, we're going to make sure that everybody understands what's going on. One thing I want to say, and you'll hear me say it a couple of times, is if you are sponsored by a Kiwanis club, and what that means is if you are not paying for camp, but a local Kiwanis club is paying for your camp, please make sure you have the district that your club is responsible to, as well as the name of your club, and then your contact at the club will give you a promo code that will allow camp to show up on your registration as free. So when you check out, it'll zero balance everything out. If you don't use that promo code, you'll see a balance due to the parents. Don't worry if you register and you end up forgetting the promo code, but you connect it to a club, we can go in the back end and fix it. But we're going to ask all of our families to try and pay attention to their district of their club name, and adding the promo code. So as we go, you're just going to start your application. We are looking at our children camp. And welcome to registration. This is a simple point and click. And as a new family, I'm going to add a new person, and I'm going to use Donald Duck as mine. Donald was born January 1st, and he was born in 2012. All right. The grade they'll be entering in the fall. So let's put Donald's going into 7th grade. And pronouns. So this is new to camp. We want to make sure your children feel comfortable and identified. Donald Duck uses he, him pronouns, and that's how we're going to go. Now, if you have a second child you're registering, that's totally fine. You just go down here and add a child. But right now, we're just, the Mickey Mouse family is registering Donald Duck for camp. Now, what week are we going to go? The nice part is you'll see the 6 weeks of children's camp. If you click on show details, it's going to go down and it's going to show all the questions that you're going to have to answer. Bus is specifically important, where your bus stop is, or no bus. And then as you go through, and agree about our COVID tests. If your child is coming to camp this summer, they're going to have to take, and you're going to have to show proof of a negative COVID test 48 hours before they get on the bus to come to camp. So we're going to click here as we go through, and we're going to add this week to our cart. Now, Donald Duck, as much as his language is a little squeaky because he's Donald Duck, he's still going to do English as we go through. Notice how everything else pops down. All right, so Cantonese, Spanish, Russian, we have all of these. Are you a military family? We're going to add that to the cart because Donald is a military family. Oh, wait, he's not. So we're going to remove past that, right? Does your camper have any of the following special needs? Does your camper need a one-on-one? Do they have a wheelchair? Is there prescription medication? These are very important, and we ask that you take your time to do this. I'm going to click on a wheelchair just so you can see what it looks like. And yes, Donald needs a wheelchair for the summer that the parents will be providing. We'll be taking photos of Camp Kiwanis for advertisements and social media. By clicking on, you will not allow photos of your camper to be used. We're going to ask that we leave this open as much as possible. We do understand your privacy, but this allows us to promote all the amazing things we have at camp. So please let us know. We also want to know, is your child eligible for the USDA summer food program? If they are getting food assistance in their schools currently, they most likely are eligible for the USDA summer food program. So we're going to ask you to click yes. If you're ineligible, we're going to ask you to click no. We need one answer in that, and so it's a yes or no. Now we're going to go to our bus stop. This is just week one. Don't worry if you don't see your bus stop, because you may be on a different week. But Donald is he lives in Queens. He lives near the Queens West. So that's the one that Donald is picking. If you notice right now, parents, looking over here where my big mouse is, the cost of camp is $525 and the cost of the bus is $180. We don't want you to panic at this point. Please understand that if you have that code that we are going to add, then that code will zero balance that out. Okay? And then I understand I'm required to click this. If I choose not to do that COVID test, your child cannot come to camp. So I'm going to agree to that. And so what I want to do is take a quick look and just make sure everything is accurate for my child before I continue to the next step. Child week one, Donald speaks English. He uses a wheelchair. He is not eligible for the USDA summer food program, and he is getting on the bus at 22 Queen Street, Sunnyside, Queens Boulevard, between 46th and 47th Street at Chase Bank, or by Chase Bank, excuse me. And then he agrees to the getting the COVID. Enter a discount code for Donald. That's where we're going to enter the discount code. So as we do it here, the code is going to be entered. Oops, if I enter it correctly. And apply. So the code was added. And if you notice, as soon as I added the code, $0 pops up. And then we're going to go down here and we're going to continue. Now, the rest of this information, I'm not going to go through a huge amount, but this is the responsibility of the parent to fill out. There's household form. The nice part about this is, see, my name is Mickey, Moose, I guess is the way I spelt it out. It asks for my parents' pronouns. So when we call the parents, we know that we're referring to he, him, or they, them, or she, her. So that helps us. Email address is the one I put in for the main part of the account. Cell phone contact number, we can add multiple, but cell phone contact would be great. And as you go through, anything with a star is required. So a phone number is required. I'm going to put the camp phone number down, and I'm just going to have it default to the camp address just for time's sakes. Notice how it fills all down here. Notice the second parent. Now, Mickey Mouse is married to Minnie Mouse, but they're in Disneyland. But for camp purposes, there is no second parent or guardian for Donald Duck. So as we go through, it's really important, if there is a second parent or guardian, even if they're not together living in the same house, we still want to add that. And I'm going to spell it the same way. Minnie Mouse has been added to this. Family information is important. It has drop downs. Lives with the mother, lives with the father, lives with mother and father, so on and so forth, all the way down to group homes and foster care. Right now, Donald Duck lives with his father. Custody is mother has no contact, father has no contact. The custody is under the father. Oops, sorry, I apologize. But there's joint custody as we go through. secondary household information, if there's any parent or guardian living at a different address. So this would be the perfect time to add Minnie Mouse down here, and Minnie, M-O-U-U-S-E, that's how we say it. And that's the mother. And then all this information, I'm not going to spend the time, will be filled in with Minnie Mouse's correct contact information. Because remember, up here is where Donald and Mickey are living. But since mom is not living in the same household, we're going to have to make sure we have her correct information as well. Also, please, if I didn't say it before, please remember this is also very important to qualify that we have that information as well. Okay, so emergency contacts. As you go through, we need you to add emergency contacts. This is important as we need to make sure we have at least 2 emergency contacts that are not the parents, so not Mickey and Minnie, but they are 2 emergency contacts that we have. And so Donald Duck is, we're going to put his, oh my gosh, Daisy. And, oh, sorry about that. Duck, and that's his aunt. And cell phone is, I'm going to put the Kamp phone down as we go through. The home phone is going to be the same number, and the work phone is going to be the same number. Now, they're different. I'm just filling in for our purposes. And then the next one we're going to do, I'm going to put me down because that'll be kind of fun. And I'm going to be the neighbor to Donald. And so I can go on to the next section. Additional information. This is the last 4 digits of the Social Security number. This is the parents. We need this information for release purposes. I'm just putting a generic 1, 2, 3, 4. And what language is spoken to by the parents? This helps us as we communicate to the parents. It's also great for us to know that what your job is as we go through. And it just helps us guide to know what the family dynamic is. Complete this form. I'm not going to save Mickey Mouse in any way. Oops, yep, see? So the nice part too is when I missed something, it says this is a required. So we're going to do this, and this is a cell phone, right? Because let's face it, how many people still have house phones in their houses? Some do, but right now we want to go there. And then as we go through, we're going to keep track. See down here, 3 of 6 steps are filled out, and we're going to ensure that everything is done for camp information, Camp Kiwanis child information, and health information. Again, looking at these little red stars, those are information that are required to be done. I'm going to pause this for a second and jump back in a moment that so you don't have to watch the whole filling out of the forms. But okay, I just wanted to show you this form really quick as I went through it. I just clicked on some things that were relevant and kind of as we went through, but who's the legal guardian? I added Mickey. The camper's family situation, again, parents, guardians, or divorced. The camper is my biological. And then it goes through a bunch of questions. Are any of these custody concerns regarding your camper? No, there's really not. Mickey and Minnie get along pretty well. They're just not together. How did you hear about us? And as you go through, remember, some of it is open and some of it is required with the red stars. So we're going to need you to go all the way through. This is a big helpful part of us. Please check your personality and behavior traits that apply to all the campers. You can click on a bunch of different things, and that helps us to identify and be able to care for your child's needs. As we go through, is there any recent changes that has happened for your child? Any other concerns that you need to be aware of? Has the camper experienced a traumatic events? And as we go down, a lot of this is basic and quick, easy yes, no questions. But I wanted to show you something. So this is the final question on this form, and it says, my camper has a medical diagnosis and or special needs. And you could click no, which is fine, and then click to next page. But if you click on this one and you click yes, there is a whole section that drops down that we need you to fill out. It's very important for us to know your child's needs at Camp Kiwanis. And so this is a great form that we use and we give to the counselors and allow them to review, so they're prepared for when your child is in their care. And so we really need you to make sure when you're filling out all these forms that you are very open and honest with us. This information is shared with the camp nurse, the director, that's me, the assistant director, and the camp counselors that are responsible for the direct care. This information is not shared all across camp, and of course it's not shared publicly. So please take a moment and consider what you're filling out, and that is it accurate, and is it setting your child up to be successful. And as you go through, you click the next page, and this is our terms and conditions. I'm going to let you read it and go through, but down here, this is checking that you agree the terms and conditions. This is just typing your name, of course, as I did it, and then today's date as I'm registering is 16/20/22. Next page. And then you're going to complete this form. See, as we're tracking, this is completed and still we have 2 to do. I'm going to pause again right now and start working on the forms so this video is a little shorter. Okay, so this is a very important form, especially for the campers that are coming that are sponsored by a Kiwanis club. If you are not sponsored by a Kiwanis club, down here, you are just going to click Parent Pay. Very simple. But let's say that you are being sponsored by a club in the Finger Lakes region, and that club is the Penyon Club. That's all you need to do. The nice part about this registration process online is the Penyon Club in the Finger Lakes region will get an invoice and pay for your camper to come. So once that's picked, you're going to complete this form, and that was a simple one. The health information parent form, this is information you're going to need on your child's last exam. Please remember that your child needs to have had a physical or exam within 12 months of them attending camp. So this is our week 1 of camp. Week 1 of Camp Kiwanis starts July 10th. So your child would have had to have a physical by the end of that week, July 16th, 2021. So if they had a physical on July 17th, 2021, all the way up, then this field is accurate. And you can fill this out and get information. And so I'm going to put 9/01/2021. Next page. And as we go through, it asks your information and about your child. There are 7 full click-throughs on this. Some of them are very quick. Donald does not have any allergies. They do not have an EpiPen. And the camper doesn't have any dietary restrictions. Next page. Will your camper be taking medications while at camp? And if you click yes, it's going to have a drop down. What is the medication? What is the dose? When do they take it? And then giving us a narrative, a way for you to give us that information about it. The pill needs to be crushed. They do not like the flavor of this medicine, so we give them a reward like stickers or something of that nature after they take it. Whatever it is to help. And we know when there's one medication, sometimes there's two or more. So you may have to add all of the medications there. I'm going to click no for this demonstration purposes. Will your camper require any treatments, nebulizers, things of that nature? And if you click yes, it's going to ask for a narrative. Does your camper regularly take medications that will be not taken at camp? So this is important because we are going to ask, if it's a yes, we need to know what that medication is, and we need to know why you're not sending it with them. We're not here to judge, but we need to be available to understand what the reason of not giving your child medication year long is. It may be doctor assigned, that's totally fine, but we need to understand that as we go through. This is also a great thing. May the following over-the-counter medications be given to your child while at camp. This helps us a lot as your child is going to be with us for a week, and we need to know that it's okay to, yeah, you know what, it's okay to give them Tylenol, and it's okay to use aloe, and I'm all right with antacids, but I don't want you giving them Benadryl because maybe they have an allergy to it. I don't know the answer to that. And no, I don't want aspirin. And as we go through, eardrops, no. But calamine lotion, I'm asking everybody to click calamine lotion because they get the itches out here. Throat spray, I'm going to say no on that one. So as we go through, I'm just going to click a couple of yeses and nos here just as we go through. It's a long list, don't get me wrong, but we want to make sure that your child is safe and that we definitely want to pick sting swabs as we go through, so we can make sure that your child is safe and we're able to give care that will help your child have a better time here at camp. And then this is an important one. It is not a required field, but I'm going to ask all of our families to please, please, please write a narrative here. Is there anything the camp needs to be aware of when giving any of the approved over-the-counter medications? All right, next page. And then, so as we go through this form, you're going to need to have their medical form in front of them. We need to know if they're immunized or not. And if you go immune, then you have to add the date to it. Immunizations are required through New York State. If your child is in a public school, those are the immunization records that we need. As of today, we are not requiring the COVID vaccine for children. If something changes, we will reach out to you. We do not expect for summer 2022 to require a COVID vaccine. But we want to be sure that everyone understands it will not be us requiring these vaccines. It will be required by the New York Department of Health, and they are our licensing agency for camp. I'm going to pause right here for a moment and fill in this form. I'll be right back. Okay, so this is a page 5 view of the health history. Just show you really quick, has your child experienced or currently experiencing any of the following conditions? And again, as you go through, if you click a yes, there's a narrative that we're going to ask you to fill out. The more information in the narrative, the better we are able to take care of your child. So please take a moment and go through each one of these. And if there is a concern that has happened with your child in the past 12 months, we need to know that. I'm going to pause right here. As we move on to the end of this page, I find that there's a really important question, And this is it right here. Is there anything you'd like to discuss with the camp medical staff? By clicking yes, we're going to ask what that topic is. We'll get back to you. Please understand throughout the year, there really is only 2 year-round staff. And so this area will be reviewed in June, and our nurse or one of our medical staff will give you a call before your child comes to camp so they can have that conversation. Going on to the next page. Oh, I forgot to click one. See how great that is? It just helps you out. Going on to the next page. And this is your family doctor information. My family doctor is Nemo, and his phone number is 315-336-4568. That's the camp phone number. Family dentist would be great. And if you have medical insurance, it'll drop down and give us great information that it has. That allows us to have that information for your child's records. If no, you're just going to click no. They're not required to have medical insurance to attend Camp Kiwanis. Next page. This is the medical waiver. This is a lot of great, this is information that you need to read. It gives us consent and for routine health administrations. It gives us permission to administer those over-the-counter medications. It gives permission to transport your child in an emergency situation. So it's a lot of information that you're going to need to read. And as you go through, Mickey Mouse, you type your name in there, checking this box confirms you read it, and you're going to complete this form. So as you go through, you're going to double check. All of my forms are completed. I clicked week 1 of camp. English, Donald Duck is in a wheelchair. He is not eligible for the food program, and he is getting on the 22 Queens West Sunnyside Queens Boulevard bus ride. I've added my discount code, which zeroed everything out, so there's no pay to the parent. Continue. We want to make sure, again, a quick information, everything's completed, and we're going to submit application. This is our information. You can reach out to us at camp@campkiwanis.org. Remember, camp is spelled with a K. You can give us a call as they register. Please don't call us immediately when you register, as it could take 24 hours for your child's registration to show up in our system. If you need anything from us here at Camp Kiwanis, don't hesitate to reach out. Have an amazing day.